Valerie, the chateau itself, it's taking off. Kind of unexpected. And for some reason the rock folds over. Alright, Alfiel, let's engage! Engage. Progenitor bird with wings of light, Alfiel. Alphael. Very interesting name. Well, anyway, he's not very hard at all. He's got 3 targets, both legs. So you want to take out the legs first, obviously. Let's see. And this fight is made especially easy because he is weak to earth, and that includes his legs, unlike previous bosses with weaknesses. This guy is actually weak all around to the earth element. And depending on how much damage you do, you could probably take a leg out in 2 turns. Alright. Shot weapon. Break. Now he does 3 attacks. He has, well, 2 attacks, really. He's got Leg Claw, which he can't use if you kill his legs. And then he's got RF Blade, which hits everybody. So be aware of that. It's definitely his most dangerous move. Definitely his most dangerous move. Although while his legs are alive, he seems to favor using Leg Claw instead of his much more dangerous RF Blade. By the way, don't use wind spells on this guy. He will absorb them, and that's bad. Alrighty then. Let's finish off his other leg. This should do it. Each one of his legs has about 2,500 HP. So you could probably, if you went all out on a leg, you might be able to finish it off in one turn. But of course, you'd probably have to use lock on to do that. Lock on and then like shot weapon or something. I might get lucky and he never used RF Blade. Let's show you the amp cluster. Now, the bazooka would do about 1,000 points of damage to him locked on. 1,000 to 1,200, give or take. See what I mean about Ashley's arms being pretty boring? Amp cluster is pretty cool though. I have missiles in my arm. So, I mean, you can see that the amp cluster actually did quite a bit of damage, even though it has way less attack power than the bazooka. Upgrade it a couple of more times, and it's actually more powerful than the bazooka. It's a very good weapon to use all the way up until the end of Disc 1. You know, against a single target. Don't use it on any bosses while they have multiple targets to hit. But having it basically frees up your bazooka for being able to take out other parts. Like if you wanted to use lock-on bazooka against, like, say, a secondary target, you could, and you don't have to concentrate solely on taking out the boss. Yes, it is a possibility. In fact, they were. Because you have secret powers! The Varakesis. I've been saying Varakus this entire time, haven't I? It's Varakesis. Let's do it! Scott, Tony, you stay here. Or you won't get in trouble. Like that's gonna happen. Oh, so he has the power. Basically, he has the same power as Cecilia from the first game. Let's see, I need to... Okie dokie. Oh, alrighty then. Oh, see, yeah, told you. They're stowing away. They're not very good stowaways, though. If you go into that room right there, they'll actually be standing there and be like, "Hi, how you doing?" So, yeah, it's not like they're hiding. Well, now we can actually fly the Valerie Chateau. Unfortunately, it requires you to have special landing pads, so while you can fly and take a look at the entire world, you can't really land anywhere you want. So, but if you hit O, you can actually enter the chateau any time you want. And I actually recommend you do it. Talk to that man there in the middle to repilot the chateau. There are two things of interest at this point in the chateau. One of them being is if you go to B1, which you'll notice there's new floors we can go to now. Anyway, if you go to B1, you'll come to a room. It's got a jail cell in it. And this gentleman. He sells elemental rings. They're good for picnics and pitch battles, apparently. At least according to him. Well, anyway, the rings add elements to your normal physical attacks. They also protect you from that element. For example, if you they have damage from that element. So, an earth ring will have earth damage, water, fire, you know. Something you want to pick up a full set of at least one of each. And then near the end of the game, you want to pick up multiples of particular ones. I like to get at least two of each, with a third for the fire and I think light, or is it dark? I think dark. Anyway, because it helps with certain optional bosses. But that's not really very high on the agenda. But just be aware that that's there, and if you have some extra money, pick up an elemental ring. They're really good for Brad. They allow him to lay down some serious smack with his physical attacks. against an elementally weak enemy. Come down here and we get ourselves to the engine room. Oh, interesting. Really? Former butcher, now chief engineer. Okay. Yep. And they found a way in this game to manufacture arms from the remains of dragons. Isn't that amazing? I wonder if there's any of the arms from the first game, you know, stuff that wasn't manufactured. I think I'll pass on that. I think there's one more guy over here to talk to. Oh, okay. That's pretty nice of you. Be with your dad. Okay, so now we want to go to floor 2. Because there is one more thing that we can do on here. First, let's peek our head in here. Like I said, they're not hiding. They're terrible stowaways. It's like, oh, we're stowing away. Hey, how you doing? We're just gonna be in this room. I can't imagine that Irving doesn't know he's there. Why do I want to keep calling him Vincent? Far to the northwest. So anyway, you talk to her and you learn about a side quest area. So we want to go back up to the top floor. Oh, I always do that. Hey guy, let's do this. So what you want to do is you want to go back to the landing pad to find this place, because the direction she gave you, far to the northwest, well, northwest. They basically apply to the old location of the chateau. Let's see. Alright, we got a... So there should be a landing pad around here. Get off. And... Alright, now, we're looking for something... This is the Wind Tiger's Den. It's the first side quest area where we're gonna get our first, I guess, optional guardian. Lilka is pretty much the only character you need for this, because you got to light all the torches before the wind blows them out. It's basically the gist of every single puzzle in this place. They're not hard. It's just might take you a little bit of trial and error. Let's see, where's that third one? There are random battles in here, by the way. They're pretty easy except for the last one. The last one might take you a couple of tries. The key to doing this is to just know where all of the know where all of them are. Okay, below. Okay, I screwed that up. Damn. Alright, screwed it up again. The key to doing this is lighting both of those at once, and then lighting that. Just like that. That's the easiest way I found to light that one. Luckily, none of these side dungeons are very long. They're only a couple of rooms long, like if that. Most of them are that short. I am Fingalon, the one who can't be controlled by anyone. I'm the Guardian of Wind. He also has the most useful skill ever. It's awesome. Let's see. For now, we're going to put him on Ashley. Does that make him faster? Nope, makes him the same speed, actually. Well, anyway, Fingalon has pickpocket on him. So, yeah. Although most of the enemies in the game don't really have anything worthwhile pickpocketing, the bosses do. You can get things like full revives, war respites, and what war respites do is they they cure all status elements, and they're really good in those boss battles where bosses just lay on the status elements, especially with Lilka because she can mystic them.